Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out a brand new bag from Tom Bihn. This is the Addax 31, which has some really interesting new features, most notably that it is a roll top backpack, so it has an adjustable capacity. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience using it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, as far as the aesthetic, this feels like it has a little bit more of a modern vibe than some of Tom Bihn's other bags in my opinion, but it still is pretty functional overall, not super minimal. It's got plenty of pockets and attachment points on the exterior, but it's an aesthetic that feels like it's going to blend in well into a variety of environments, whether you're commuting by bike, exploring the outdoors, taking this into the office, or traveling. As far as the materials, the bag feels really solidly built. The version that I have here is ballistic nylon. I've used a few different bags from Tom Bihn in ballistic nylon. They've held up very well. It's a really rugged fabric. The bag will also be offered in X-Pack, which is really exciting as I haven't seen any Tom Bihn bags in X-Pack before. So that is another option if you want to check that out. The ballistic though feels really nice. It also seems like it's going to offer a decent amount of weather resistance, and then you have some great YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, on the front you have the Tom Bihn logo here down at the bottom in the center, which I really like, and then you have an attachment point here which is going to be good for something like a bike light. On the side you have an external water bottle pocket, which again is something that I hadn't seen in other Tom Bihn bags. So really nice to see them adding that so that you can easily get to your water bottle. Currently what I have here is a 20-ounce water bottle which fit in there comfortably. The main compartment is pretty packed out, so it does tend to share volume, but it's nice that it has this elastic mesh so you have a little bit of flexibility. Also great for holding something like an umbrella. Anything thicker than 20 ounces might get a little bit tight when the bag is full. And then I like that, when the compartment isn't in use, because of this elastic, it still kind of hugs the bag to maintain a cleaner look. Moving into the capacity, the bag is offered in two different sizes. The version that I have here is the Addax 31. And what that means is that when it's at its most compressed, it comes down to about 31 liters. So that's going to depend on the number of rolls you give the roll top, as I'll show a little bit later in the video. But if you leave it more expanded out, it can go above 40 liters. So it can hold quite a bit of stuff. I was really impressed, particularly for travel, how much this could hold. And I like that even though this is a larger bag, and when it's more packed out, it didn't really feel overwhelmingly big. It still felt like I could comfortably navigate crowded areas, jumping into public transit, and carrying on to most domestic and international airlines. Taking a look at the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. You have the same harness system that we've seen in bags such as the Shadow Guide 33. So these straps from Tom Bihn have become very popular in the bag and kind of travel pack industry. They've got plenty of padding. They're really comfortable right out of the box. On the inside, they don't have a ton of breathability, but the straps do have a good width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders. They also have these corners that prevent any sort of pinching even when the bag is a little bit more packed out. And then you have an adjustable and removable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. The back paneling has also been really comfortable. It has the same type of back panel that we've seen in some of Tom Bihn's newer bags, such as their Shadow Guide and the Techonaut 30. So it has this sort of skeleton style back panel that has some gaps that are going to provide you with elevation and airflow while you're walking around, and it also has this mesh fabric to give you a little bit more breathability. While we're on the back paneling, you also have a luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. And then the last thing I'll mention while we're looking at the back here is that you also have a removable waist belt that's going to help stabilize the pack when it's a little bit more packed out. This can get pretty big and heavy, so if you're riding a bike or running around, it can move from side to side. This doesn't feel like it offers a ton of additional support per se, so this is the type of thing that I would normally remove for a bag of this size. And I like that it's fully removable in case you don't want to use it, but it is included with the bag if you prefer to have that extra bit of stability. Jumping into the organizational options, you have a nice variety of pockets all throughout. This is something Tom Bihn always does very well with their bags. On the front, you have two zippered quick access pockets. So starting off at the top, this is probably one of the compartments that I would access the most throughout the day. So in this compartment, you have a nice amount of volume. It comes up even if you have something a little bit bulkier. In my case, what I currently have here are some sunglasses. And then on the inside, you have some mesh slip pockets that are going to be great for holding accessories that you don't want floating around. They also have a little bit of give, so they'll mold around anything that you place in there. In this one here on the left, I have a lightning cable and brick to charge my phone. And then on the right, I have my Apple AirPods. And then I also have a Magic Mouse. And in this compartment, along with many of the others that we'll see throughout the bag, you have a few O-rings where you can customize this with many of the pouches that Tom Bihn sells. And they also include this lanyard with the bag that's gonna be a good place to attach your keys or a multi-tool. Moving down along the front of the bag, you have another quick access pocket. This one is a little bit larger, so it's gonna be great for bulkier items that you still need to access pretty regularly throughout the day, or it can just hold a lot of stuff. In my case, I tossed in a headlamp, and then I also have the laptop charger and power brick for my MacBook Pro. And then I have a portable battery, which is always good to have at the ready. And then the last thing that I have in here at the moment is a deck of playing cards. And then in this compartment as well, you have, again, some more O-rings. So this is gonna be a great compartment, particularly when traveling if you wanna pair it with something like the Tom Bihn handy little thing pouch or one of their dot kits. You can easily reach in and grab it while you're traveling and then attach it to one of the O-rings so it doesn't get lost. On the side of the bag that doesn't have the water bottle compartment, you have another taller external pocket. This has a nice zipper garage here, so it's gonna keep the items protected from the elements. Pretty wide opening. This is one of the compartments that you'll have to kind of be strategic with how you pack out. It does still have some volume even when the main compartment is full, but it will impact the amount of space that you have to store stuff here. I probably wouldn't store any sort of a water bottle. In my case, I currently just have an umbrella that fits in there comfortably, but this is gonna be a good spot for other pouches, jacket, gloves, glasses, tech accessories, and then you have an O-ring here as well, which I currently am using to hold my hand sanitizer. So great to see that the O-rings are not just useful for pairing with Tom Bihn's accessories, but anything that you want to hold with a carabiner. The next area that we're going to be taking a look at is the laptop compartment. And so this is accessible from the top of the bag or the side. You have this large access zipper here. Again, you have some pretty good protection here at the top to keep your laptop protected from the elements. I like that this is such a large zipper. This is definitely going to be able to hold a 15 or 16 inch laptop comfortably. Currently what I have is my 13-inch MacBook Pro. You can see there's a ton of space left over there at the top. So even with a larger device, you'll be able to get it in and out. Of course, if you get the smaller version of the bag, you'll have to account for that depending on your device size, but plenty of space, decent amount of padding here. The compartment does feel like it's pulled up a little bit off the bottom of the bag, but it's one of those where depending on how you lean your bag forward, there could potentially be a little bit of contact, but it does feel like it's protected if you place your bag down. And so pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. This does come up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker device, you should be able to fit in there comfortably, or if you want to use a case with your laptop, I might recommend a case, particularly as this bag doesn't seem to have too much of a frame sheet. You can see that it does have some padding, particularly with the back paneling right here, but it doesn't have the same level of rigidity that we've seen with some other Tom Bihn bags. So that's something that you want to keep in mind, but in general, really like how easy it is to access my device, and it feels like it's pretty well protected while I'm running around throughout the day. Moving into the main compartment and the roll top aspect of the bag. First thing I'll mention here is, in general, I'm not a huge fan of roll top bags. It's just something that I don't end up using too much, and I find that it's a little bit harder to access the main compartment sometimes, particularly if you don't have a clamshell style opening to pair with it, which in this case you don't. This is the main way that you would be getting into the main compartment. It doesn't really have an external zipper compartment where you would be able to reach in and grab what you would need from the bottom of the bag. So that's something that you'll have to keep in mind depending on the types of bag that you normally like to use. If you're a fan of clamshell bags, Tom Bihn Cynic backpacks are fantastic for that. But this is something that I have gotten used to using, particularly with their Shadow Guide backpacks, which again is a top-loading bag. It's really deep, so it's not a bad experience. It can be more reliable in some ways, particularly as far as weather resistance. Roll tops typically feel like they offer a little bit more protection against the elements if you happen to get caught in some harder rain. And so the roll top system that's been used here, you have these clips on the side that you release, and then as mentioned earlier in the video, you can adjust the volume depending on the number of times that you roll this. So at its most expanded, I believe it comes out to about 48 liters or something like that. And then if you roll it once and close it, it's going to be around 41 liters. So you can roll it down and secure it, and then you have a little bit more capacity, so that's kind of a extended travel bag size. This can hold a lot. And then in my case, I usually like to try to get it as tight as possible to make it just a little bit more manageable, and that's when you can get it closer to that 33-liter size. And so an interesting system here. One thing that maybe might be a good improvement for a future edition, and so this is a common Rolltop system, but some of them have kind of adjustable straps so that you can tighten it down a little bit more, or you can just get more precise with the rolls, which I would have liked to have seen. But in general, this works well compared to many of the other Rolltop bags that I've seen in the past. And then you have this cavernous main compartment here. It can really hold just a ton of stuff. On the inside, you'll see that I have a halcyon lining. I'm a big fan of Tom Bihn's halcyon material. I like the patterning and just the durability of the fabric. Given that this is the larger version of the bag and how big it can get, I packed this out as more of a travel backpack as opposed to an EDC bag, so you'll see that with the items that I've included here. First up at the top, I have the Tom Bihn handy little thing pouch, just again to show the usage of the O-rings. You'll have them all throughout this compartment, and so I like having this at the top as it, sometimes works as a dop kit, a tech kit. I can pull it out. I like that because it has the O-rings, I can just move it out of the way and I don't have to worry about it getting lost. Next up, I have Tom Bihn's laundry stuff sack, which is one of my favorite ways to just pack out underwear and socks. It has the two compartments, one clean, one dirty. Just makes it very easy to toss things in there and not have to worry about folding or anything like that. Further down at the bottom, I have my packable rain jacket, which is always good to have if you're going somewhere where you're expecting some rainfall. And then I also managed to squeeze in a pair of shoes, and I put in a larger pair of shoes. These are the Lems Boulder Boot, the mid, which I've been testing out recently. I featured them in another video, and this is a great pair of travel shoes. I wouldn't normally pack a pair of boots into a travel backpack, but really just wanted to kind of emphasize how much capacity is present in this bag. So you could probably replace that with another packing cube if you wanted to take extra clothes or additional accessories that you might want to have. So way down there at the bottom, you really have to reach for anything that falls towards the bottom, so you'll have to think about that as you pack out and be a little bit more strategic, but really love just how much space this offers. And then because it is a roll top, like a top loading bag versus a clamshell style, one of the nice things is that it's a little bit more reliable. You have a little bit more peace of mind that a zipper is not going to fail on you. This is the fabric itself, and so there's some who prefer that style over the clamshell opening, as you don't have to worry about that failing on you. And even if something did happen with one of these buckles, the bag itself would work as kind of a large sack in the meantime. And then on the inside of this compartment, you have some organization as well. So you have two slip pockets here near the top. These are sort of a mesh slip pockets that are a little bit larger. And there's O-rings near those slip pockets. So here at the moment, I have the Ghost Oil pouch from Tom Bihn, which I have clipped on there so it doesn't fall down near the bottom if I need to grab it easily. And then next to that, in the other slip pocket, which is of a similar size, I have a larger battery bank just to kind of show the size. That fits in there comfortably, but these are going to be good for also things that you don't access as regularly, again, because you don't want to have to undo the whole roll top to access those pockets. And then those are on the front of the compartment. On the back, you have at the bottom, it's going to be a little bit hard to see, just given how deep this is. You have a little slip pocket, which is going to be a good spot to hold something like your tablet or a notebook. Currently what I have there is my iPad mini. And then on the back of the compartment, you have a zippered area that's going to allow you to access the laptop sleeve that we saw earlier. And so if you prefer to access your laptop from the top, or you're on a flight, you want to reach this, it's always a little bit easier than going through the side access. You can get a better sense of what this zippered area is like. This sleeve is not quite as padded as I would like to see, or as some other tablet and laptop sleeves are in different bags. So this is an area where I would like to see, Tom Bihn maybe in a future version just kind of add something a little bit thicker here. But in general, really nice space and layout in this main compartment, particularly if you're a fan of roll top or top loading bags. If you don't care as much about the clamshell style opening, you just need something with a ton of space. This is a really effective layout. Really love all the organizational options all throughout, some of the newer features that Tom Bihn has included. And if you're looking for a flexible and durable bag, this is going to be a really solid option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Addax 31 backpack. You can currently pre-order this on the company's site. It is going to be officially released in a couple of weeks, but if you want to make sure to lock down the fabric and color choice that you want, you can go ahead and pre-order that today. And so as I was testing this out, this definitely reminded me of some of the other bags from Tom Bihn that we featured on the channel in the past, such as their Shadow Guide 33. That was a really simple but versatile travel backpack. It's a top-loading bag that had an adjustable capacity, so not quite a roll top, but it still had kind of a similar concept where I could squeeze it down if it's not as full, or I could expand it up if I have to carry a little bit of extra stuff. Really simple organizational layout on that. External laptop compartment, similar back panel to this, which I really liked about that bag. This also made me think of the Cynic 30, which has been one of the most popular one-bag travel options in the community for a while. The organizational layout on this one reminds me of that a lot, so it has a lot of great pocketing and flexibility with the O-ring system. Both of those bags are going to be fantastic to consider, particularly if you're not as interested in the roll top aspect of this one. The next bag this made me think of is the Wandered Provoke 21, which has been one of my favorite camera bags over the past couple of years. It's very rugged and weather resistant. It has a roll top opening as well, so you can adjust the capacity if you need a little bit more space. It also has a clamshell style opening, so it's nice that you can have full access into the body of the bag. And one of the best things about that one is that it's going to be great for carrying your camera gear. So it has a lot of accessories that are meant to facilitate you're protecting and accessing your gear. It's got a side access compartment so you can get your camera in and out, and it's just a really rugged bag. So if you need something that's going to be reliable for your camera gear that's also going to give you some flexibility, that's going to be a fantastic option to consider. Another bag this made me think of is the Timbuktu Parker Pack, which isn't a roll top per se, but it does have an adjustable capacity. It expands for when you need to carry a little bit more. That's a great commuter backpack that's going to offer a lot of visibility, weather resistance. It has a little bit of a simpler organizational layout, but still enough spaces for you to grab whatever you need pretty easily during the day. Well padded laptop compartment, it's comfortable to wear. And if you're looking for something in this size range that again isn't really the roll top opening and that's gonna be a little bit more commuter focused, and that's gonna be a fantastic option to check out. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the North Face Surge, which is a really versatile backpack that's gonna work well in the outdoors or in the city. It's got a great organizational layout and one of the most comfortable harness systems that I've tested out recently. I really like the size of that bag. It comes in at 30 liters. It's not able to expand like this one, so it's got kind of a nice larger size that doesn't feel overwhelming if you want to use it as an EDC bag. Tons of pockets all throughout to hold anything that you need. I really like the padding on the laptop compartment. So just a really versatile bag that's going to work well in a variety of environments. And if you're looking for something larger that's going to come in at a more reasonable price range, then that's going to be a great option to consider. With that being said, the Addax 31 holds up really well against all those options. And if you're looking for a durable and flexible bag that's going to offer tons of organization and that's going to fit in really well with Tom Bihn's ecosystem of accessories, and this is going to be a fantastic option to consider. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Addax 31 and how it compares to some of the other great EDC bags that we featured on the channel in the past. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.